Today I'm going to be ranking every song on this new Twigs album, Look For Your Mind. I discovered Twigs a few years back with their modern classic, in my opinion, Everything Harmony. And since then, I've really been enjoying their specific brand of retro pop and rock revivalism. And yeah, this is another fun album exploring those sounds. So let's get into the track list. At number 14, I'm going to have Fire and Gold. I do like the sound of the guitars and drums on this one. They sound good, but unfortunately the tune just isn't really all that strong and the lyrics don't do all that much for me. Ultimately, it ends up being, in my opinion, the most forgettable song on the album. At number 13 is going to be Yeah, I Do. This is the shortest song on the album and it leaves very little impact. At number 12 is going to be My Heart Is In Your Hands Tonight. This one is fine, but in my opinion, it just sounds a little too much like other songs on the album, such as You're Still My Girl or I Just Can't Get Over Losing You, which are songs from earlier on the album that, in my opinion, just do what this song is trying to do better. At number 11 is going to be Your True Enemy. This is a closer that is kind of so-so just as a song individually. But I will say it does succeed in feeling very final with all of this like distortion and compression that comes in towards the end of the song. At number 10 is going to be Nothing But You. This is a very easygoing, upbeat song that sort of has a bit of a psychedelic rock edge to it. The tune is not necessarily the catchiest or the most memorable on the album, but I do think it has a pleasant, sunny vibe, and it's the kind of song that I would enjoy listening to on a sunny day. At number 9 is going to be I Hurt You. This is one that sort of is standard for this era of Twigs music. It kind of blends in with the other songs, but it's still pretty tasteful despite that fact. At number 8 is going to be the title track, Look For Your Mind. This is a real earworm of an opener. It's very catchy, but I guess it just doesn't really impress me quite as much as some of the other songs on the album. At number 7 is going to be Mean to Me. This is definitely one of the gentler, quieter songs. It's basically a ballad of a sensitive soul just begging not to be hurt by another person. At number 6 is going to be Joy. This is an acoustic ballad with a very classic sounding tune and some lovely virtuosic guitar playing. It reminds me a lot of the song When Winter Comes Around off of Everything Harmony. This one also features some of my favorite lyrics on the album, written from this perspective of suffering, but basically trusting that in the future you will be happy again. Joy lives so far away, but she'll return to me some special day. For she's my destiny, and pretty soon she will be next to me. At number 5 is going to be Bring You Down. This is basically the Twigs doing their own take on like a classic blues rock banger. This has some of the chunkiest and most aggressive guitars on the album, but despite that, the guys still keep their very melodic vocal delivery, which I think creates a nice contrast. I also really like the lyrics on this one, which are just basically about hating the 9-to-5 grind and, talking about just the various economic struggles that have haunted many of us in the modern world. At number 4 is going to be You're Still My Girl. This is a late album highlight with one of the strongest tunes on the album and these vocal harmonies on the chorus that are just absolute perfection. At number 3 is going to be 2 or 3. This is a really whimsical, wonderful song about being with a girl who is far more experienced in life than you are and sort of the confusion and the difficulties that come along with that. And yeah, I think the song just basically showcases everything that is great about what Twigs are doing nowadays. It's got that retro sound and a great tune, but it has this very unique lyrical angle that sets it apart from a lot of the music in the time period that it's imitating, as well as just a lot of music today. At number 2 is going to be I Just Can't Get Over Losing You. This is a jaunty soft rock single with a tune that will not stop playing in the back of my head, and some really hilarious campy lyrics that basically just paint heartbreak in this very self-aware, almost goofy light. But at number 1 for me is going to be Gather Round. This is a really soulful, classic-sounding Baroque pop song that gives me real shades of, like, the Beatles or the Beach Boys. It's so beautifully orchestrated with this wonderful horn section that comes in towards the end, and the chorus is just so good. And also the lyrics have this really hopeful tone to them that I think the world just needs nowadays. It's definitely a highlight for me in the Lemon Twigs catalog. And yeah, that's what I have to say about this album. I think it was overall pretty solid. If you disagree with my list, feel free to let me know in the comments. And with that said, thank you for watching.